What's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? And baby, what's up, Sussex Squad? Y'all, I'm back. Listen, I've gotten over Ari Emanuel Gate. We will move on. I have said what I said about that man. Listen, love Harry and Meghan to pieces. I do not believe that Ari Emanuel is the manager for them. I think they were doing way better before he even got involved. But baby, it's back to the drawing board. Y'all, Sussex Squad, all HE double hockey sticks is about to break out over in the UK. Baby, Camilla just got her right-hand man. Camilla just got her shooter. Camilla just got her OG petty Daily Mail. Put this on the front page. It's time to ruin somebody's career, reputation, and life. Camilla just hired her OG spin doctor. Baby, this is not going to bode well for William and Kate, and we are already seeing the effects. But you know what? All I got to say is, couldn't happen to worse people. And baby, we love to see it. Let's get into this mess, all right? Where were we? Okay, so if you guys don't know, there is this woman called Amanda McManus. Now, if you guys don't know, Amanda McManus is like, if Camilla runs hell, that's her head demon. I don't know what the head demon in hell's called. Like, I don't know, but that would be the person. She was the one that did the smear campaign against Diana. She was the one that launched a smear campaign against Harry and leaked things about William. She was Camilla's right-hand man. Well, guess what? She is back. Interestingly enough, if you put the pieces together, and this is just my speculation, but I think I might be owing to something. There was an article a couple of days ago about how Charles and Camilla are cutting back on 20% of the Kensington staff because they're like, oh, a lot of people are redundant. We don't need a royal cook and a cook for the servants. There can be a cook for everybody, but you know their food's going to be cooked first. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. But as with everything in the royals, every single time they try to act like they're doing something to save money or be human, it's all cap. Because buried in that article was an interesting line about, oh, you know what? Actually, if we do this and we cut by 20%, you know, a lot of people have been made redundant. They want to do things the way the queen did it. And Camilla's the queen now, which I was like, okay, you're calling the shots. But embedded in that article in the middle. And when you read Spin, you can't really read the opening or the closing. The middle is where you get the parts that you're just like, oh, is that what you're trying to bury? The middle said that they were also firing people so they could actually pay the staff they have more money or pay them what their current market rate is. And I was like, so you're giving people raises? For some reason, it stuck in my head. And now I know why people are firing, because they have a budget. And Camilla wants to make sure that everybody on her team is paid top dollar. So she's firing people that she never liked in the first place. And it looks like there's room to hire somebody without going over budget, so to speak. And that is Amanda McManus. Now, before I get into also all the ways, let's also not forget that we also see, remember when I said that Charles and Camilla were laying low while Kate and William were like, yes, we're the best. Don't you know? Charles is jealous. What? Huh? Remember that whole campaign? And I was like, and William and Kate were so stupid. They thought they were winning. And I was like, are you guys that stupid? You don't know how to play the long game? Because Camilla doesn't see, listen, Camilla sees things in horsey years. How long do horses live? Let me Google that. How long do horses live? Should I put Camilla Parker Bowles, or do you think they'll know what I mean when I write horses? Horses live 25 to 30 years. Okay. However, in rare cases, domestic horses have lived into their 50s and 60s. Camilla seems very domesticated to me. So Camilla sees in domesticated horse years, right? So think about it. If she sees that far out, William and Kate, they literally let them do jazz hands, do all their PR, do this, do that. And now it's time for reckoning. They literally stayed quiet so William and Kate could show their hand. And now they are striking. For one, William and Kate had to ride to Balmoral with Prince Andrew. Now, William's desperate to be like, "Oh, you don't understand. I told my daddy no, but he didn't listen to me. It's the king's fault." But at the end of the day, history, like they're so fond of remembering, history will remember that Will and Kate were buddy with Andrew. And for them to be like, "No, the king made me do it." The king didn't make you do anything, because William, there are a million reports that you yourself put out that the king doesn't run ish. He wanted to send you on a tour. You said no way. He wanted to send you to the games. You said no way. You tell your father no anytime you feel about it. And then you put a press release out. Now you're in the car with Andrew, and your daddy made you do it. What literally needs to have a messaging problem? Because right now he seems like a 40-year-old brat. What is it? Are you a big boy that makes your own rage-filled decisions? Or do you listen to your daddy with everything he does? Like, be serious. And you know he doesn't, because he's told us all for the last 6 months, "I'm my own man. You can't just push me around anymore. I'm the Prince of Wales." So anyway, right? William had a PR blunder and rode in the car with Andrew. But what's more, they've also released that William and Kate have only done, I think, 40 appearances in 8 months, and they still have more holidays to go. Mark my words, by next year, because they keep putting out, they just needs, I don't know what's happening, there needs to be more working royals. But he won't bring the what's her name, Fergie's girls in. He won't bring other royal cousins in, which lets me know that Camilla's kids, mark my words, it's just my prediction, by next year will somehow be working royals. They will somehow get honorary titles, and they'll somehow be working royals. Again, you guys are like, "Oh," if somebody's like, "Oh, Tisa, you don't know what you're talking about. The proclamation says ada, this and a third." The proclamation also said that Camilla should be called the Queen's consort. The proclamation also said that Camilla shouldn't have been crowned. The proclamation said a lot of things, and Charles and Camilla are doing what they want. The proclamation also said, listen, if we haven't figured it out yet, the royals are nothing but, it's a bunch of made up rules. They make up rules every time they want to do what they want. Anyway, let's get into the Death Eater that's coming to take away William and Kate's soul. They said the Queen's longest serving aide has returned to her side as a trustee of her online book club. I'm gonna hurt Camilla. I will say one thing about Camilla, and this is why she gets, I mean, granted, they're a gaggle of the worst bottom-feeding people, but Camilla looks out for people. People that are loyal to her, she looks out for. You are literally probably going to give this woman a 6-figure salary to be the trustee of your online book club. I know that's right. Amanda McManus, 70, was hired by then Camilla Parker Bowles shortly after the 1997 death of Diana, Princess of Wales, and only resigned from the royal household last year. However, she's extremely close to the Queen, and royal aides thought it only a matter of time before she returned to support Her Majesty in some capacity. So after Diana died, and the whole place, you remember, and all of England was calling for Camilla's head, at least that's what I got from the tabloids, right? She brought this girl in to be a spin doctor and to rehab her image. And baby, look at what's happening. Camilla was just crowned, literally. Anyway, the South African born, no comment, you know those colonial roots run deep. The South African born mother of 2, oh God, and she spawned more demons, was the Queen's most trusted aide, working for decades as her private secretary and de facto lady in waiting. Known as close friends to Mandy, she's been credited with gradually transforming public perceptions of the Queen. Mrs. McManus briefly lost her job in 1988, only to be rehired days later. The then Miss Parker Bowles was said to have been furious when she discovered that details of her first meeting with the teenage Prince William in 1998 had been leaked to the press. Really? You were furious? Camilla, no shame in her game. She had told Mrs. McManus about the meeting, who in turn told her husband, a media executive, who said to have told a former colleague, who told a newspaper. So basically, they reenacted a game of Clue/telephone. Shut up. Mrs. Parker Bowles took the unusual step of releasing a public statement announcing that Mrs. McManus had resigned following the investigation. It said Mrs. Parker Bowles agrees that her position had become untenable. Mrs. McManus said she was very sorry, adding, "It was a matter of great regret to me that chance remarks of mine led to the disclosure in the press of the private meeting between Mrs. Parker Bowles and Prince William. I am so very sorry for the distress this has caused. Above all, my shame is that I've failed those who demand loyalty and trust, particularly my remarkable employer, Mrs. Parker Bowles." Man, they had this script waiting. However, when it became clear that Mrs. McManus had not briefed the newspaper, she was quickly reinstated. I think she got hired 3 days later. The incident was recalled by the Duke of Sussex in his memoir Spare, although he claimed that it was his mother-in-law who had leaked the story to the press. The newspaper article contained pinpoint accurate details, none of which had come from Willie, of course. They could only have been leaked by one other person. A royal source said in January, "Harry's created a very crisp narrative in which parts his conflation of different versions of the story." So let me get this straight. Harry said that Camilla leaked the paper. And Camilla's response is, the palace's response is, dummy. Yeah, she told the lady in waiting that told her husband told that, but she didn't leak it directly to the press. And listen, let me tell you something. Camilla's reign of terror has just started. And the thing is, Camilla thinks that she's already won the war with Harry and Meghan. She is now looking to put William and Kate in her place. Let's also not forget that we call Camilla the Rottweiler because of Diana. But part of the reason she got that nickname is because she is so fiercely protective over Charles. And Charles and his sniveling self love it. Do you think that Camilla was eating her apples and curds away and took kindly to Kate talking trash about her man, calling the man she set up, she made, she put a battery in his back, calling him weak and pathetic? Baby, those was fighting words. And Camilla is coming out swinging. Listen, my little tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.